Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Vix, and today we are going to be talking about 4 divers that died after being sucked into an oil pipeline. Don't subscribe just yet. I will earn your subscription by the end of this video, and don't leave a like just yet. Watch the video all the way through. And if you actually did like the video, make sure to leave a like. It lets me know that you gave me that watch time and you left a like, meaning that you want to see more just like this. Anyway, let's dive right into this tragic story. Four of a team of 5 underwater welders in Trinidad have been presumed dead after being sucked into the oil pipeline on which they have been using scuba to carry out repairs. The incident occurred around 3 p.m. on Friday, the 25th of February 2022. And according to local press, relatives of the missing men have accused the oil company and emergency services of dragging their feet over the subsequent rescue operation. The divers worked for service company LMCS, Land and Marine Contracting Services, which had been contracted by Peria Fuel Trading Co., Ltd., to carry out the routine maintenance work. The location was Pointe a Peri, a town in the west of Trinidad on the Gulf of Paria and the site of the island's biggest oil refinery. I'm so sorry if I said the location wrong, so please don't come at me for that. The scuba divers were at a depth of 18 meters, installing a riser on a 90-centimeter bore pipe that ran about 400 meters from shore to a berth out at sea. They had almost completed the task when the safety valve that had enabled them to work on the pipe is believed to have opened suddenly, causing a powerful vacuum effect that sucked all 5 of them inside. So delta P refers to water equalizing with its surroundings. So basically that means imagine a hole opens in a pipeline and water begins to rush into a gap. Any diver that is in the area is in danger of being sucked into the flow, which means they could be sucked into that pipeline, of which you will see in this story because 4 of the divers have died, and that is because they were sucked in because of delta P, differential pressure. And it is a very, very dangerous thing that if you are a diver, you have to be careful of. So that is why I mentioned it here, right now. It will come up later. So 4 of the 5 divers had died when they had been sucked into the pipeline. The 5th diver survived the ordeal after having been pulled from the pipe by Mr. Curbain's son, Michael, after spending 3 hours trapped inside. Peria had failed in its duty of care to the divers. Not only did the report blame the company's poor operating procedures for the disaster, but its point-blank refusal to allow a rescue mission for the divers who remained trapped, injured, and alive inside air pockets within the pipeline. The COE, Commission of Inquiry, report said that the tragedy was caused by methodology adopted by both Peria and LMCS, and removing the content from the pipeline, which created a latent differential pressure, also known as delta P.
Diver 1 enters the water behind the dam structure in order to clean the strainer of the dam's drain. When the drain is cleared, the tremendous force of rushing water through the drain grabs hold of Diver 1, sucks him partially inside, and traps him. Diver 2 enters the water to help Diver 1 and becomes trapped also. Diver 3 enters the water to rescue Divers 1 and 2, and after 40 minutes returns to the surface with both divers. They are dead. Diver 3 was hospitalized for injuries suffered in the rescue attempts.
A vacuum within the pipeline caused anything within the immediate area to be sucked inside under great pressure as soon as it was opened by the divers. The 4 men remaining trapped inside, rescue divers were prepared to return to the scene once boredom had been brought to the surface. But Peria's terminal operations manager, Colin Piper, who was managing the company's Incident Command System, ICS, refused to allow them to attempt a rescue. That is so stupid. I'm sorry, but I mean, I get it. You could be sucked in, but you're really just gonna let these guys die? You saved one. I'm sure you could save the rest. Now, during the trial, the COE report concluded that he, Colin, had not acted reasonably, had wasted time waiting for a camera drone to return pictures from inside the pipeline, and had failed to calculate how much air each of the men would need to survive. Which I find so stupid. Like, if he had acted reasonably, all four, well, the 4 trapped inside the pipeline would have survived if Colin had acted right and had actually allowed them to attempt a rescue. The surviving diver, Christopher Braham, who has not yet been able to return to work following the deaths of his colleagues, said that he welcomed the report's findings, but did not have confidence that criminal charges would ever be brought against Peria. This is what he had to say. I have researched this law, and I don't believe this will hold up in a court in Trinidad and Tobago. Corporate manslaughter, he told the Trinidad Express. But I am pleased that the Commission of Inquiry did their job well and honest. I hope that the recommendations are considered and applied by the marine and subsea industries. I find that so stupid. I'm so sorry, but these 4 men plus Christopher would be alive today if Colin had allowed them to do the rescue. And I understand that they would have to be cautious because of Delta P, but they could be living today. And I'd find that so stupid. And even what Christopher said, that he doesn't believe that the criminal charges would hold up against Peria for corporate manslaughter because the 4 divers had died under the terminal operations manager, Colin Piper. I feel like not only should we put charges against the company, but also against Colin because he made the decision to let them die. He waited for, like, camera pictures of inside the pipeline, which I feel like you didn't really need, but there could be a reason. This is just my opinion. I'm not a part of this, so I basically know nothing other than that these 4 divers could have survived if Colin had let them do the rescue, I believe. Let me know if I'm wrong about that, if they would not have survived either way. Yeah, I feel so sorry for the families of the 4 divers, of the 4 men that had died. I'm sorry if I said any words wrong in this entire thing. I tried my best. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you learned something new today, and you actually liked the video, make sure to leave a like, and if I earned your subscription, make sure to subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. We're trying to hit 70 subscribers by August. Photos with Disturbing Backstories Part 1 did so good. So I really appreciate everyone who watched that video and actually subscribed. That was amazing. I wasn't expecting that video to not necessarily blow up, but get me a little something, because in that video I was deciding how many subscribers we would try to hit for and whatnot. So yeah. That's why I didn't mention it in part 2, because part 2, I have recorded part 1 and part 2 at the same time, so very sorry about that. But I will mention it here. So thank you guys so much for having part 1 of Photos of Disturbing Backstories blow up like that. I was not expecting that, and you guys want more, so I will deliver more. If you have any suggestions for missing 411 cases that you want me to talk about, photos with disturbing backstories that you also want me to talk about, or anything else, honestly, please put them in the comments down below. It really helps me out a lot to come up with topics, or have you guys tell me what I should talk about, because it really helps me out with getting more of these videos out for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Your host has been Verts.